Hello everybody, Crow here, and in this episode of The Crow Show, I have quite a few interesting pickups. I talk a little bit about E3, and my top-loader NES went on a mystical journey. All this after the intro. Alright, so I think we're going to start out with pickups, like I always do, and actually over the past 2 weeks I got quite a few pickups, and some of them are pretty interesting. I'm going to start out with the non-gaming stuff first. I was at Target, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and I wound up picking up Men in Black 1 and 2. And the reason I picked these up, well, they were $14.99 each. Normally I wouldn't buy Blu-rays for that price. But Men in Black 3 had come out. I kind of wanted to see it. My friends were all going. My wife hadn't seen either of these movies. So, and they're not on Netflix either. So, I was like, you know what? They're not movies I wouldn't mind owning. They're not the greatest movies in the world, but they're entertaining. So, so I picked up these two. While I was at it, I picked up Kung Fu Hustle for $9.99. One of the funniest Kung Fu movies, or action fighting movies that you'll ever see. I hate using that term Kung Fu because it sounds so generic. But if you haven't seen Kung Fu Hustle, check it out. It's an awesome movie. It's hilarious, and the action in it is fantastic. And if you liked it, check out Shaolin Soccer, which is... what the hell's his name? Stephen Chow. It's a movie he did before this one. And Shaolin Soccer is no different. Shaolin Soccer, there's like an English version and a... I guess the original version. I guess the edits between the two versions, there's a lot of them. So I always prefer watching it in the original language version, I guess. You might want to say. You know, there's the same thing in Kung Fu Hustle, but it's not so bad. It's not as bad as the other one. In fact, I haven't opened this up and watched it yet, and I wonder if those edits are still in the Blu-ray version. You know, mainly things like editing out blood or just other things I'm not even going to mention. While I was at Target, I happened to find Asura's Wrath for $30. They had it marked down from $60 to $30. And this game kind of interested me at first. And then I saw a Classic Game Room's video on it, and I was like, this is a game I have to get when it comes down on price. So I got it, and I started playing it, and it was still not like anything I was expecting. The gameplay in this game, the way the presentation of the game is very different from anything I've encountered. It's like a hybrid video game and anime series rolled into one. You know, it's actually broken out episode by episode. At the beginning of every episode, you kind of see intro credits, and at the end of every episode, you know, it kind of peers out. It gives you your score, and then it gives you a preview of the next episode. It's kind of wacky, and the action in this game is just totally off the wall. There's stuff in this game that makes my eyes like, what the? Did I just see that? Did a giant guy, bigger than the planet, try to smash me with his finger? Kind of stuff in that. And that's like the third or fourth episode in the game. And fairly early on in the game, that kind of stuff happens. And as for gameplay itself, it's broken out between three different ways. I mean, you got the I guess action part where you're running around beating the crap out of people, but then it's also like a shooter, almost like an on-rail shooter type of deal. And then there's the rest of the game, which is like you're watching an anime episode, but you've got to like input the button presses to, you know, do the things or whatever to advance the story, to succeed in the story, I guess. And it's very lenient from what I've seen. So yeah, that's Asura's Wrath. I might talk about this more after I finish it. In fact, I think I'm already mostly done with it. But what else did I get? Kind of went a little off topic of what I've been getting. At Five Below, picked up this classic controller. I know Techromancer had shown this off, but it's like an NES-style controller for your PC, or it says Mac, but I don't have a Mac, so PC. So, like, emulated NES games would be fantastic for this, as well as some MAME games I think would work very well with this, and I think maybe even some Steam games, like maybe even Super Meat Boy would work fantastic with this. So, $5, I can't go wrong, that's why I wanted to get that. Moving on, because we're going to keep moving on, was at Disc Replay. And I picked up 2 games there. I picked up Vector Man for the Genesis. I had Vector Man 2, but I didn't have Vector Man. So when I saw this, actually I had 2 copies. One was marked as $5.99 and one was marked as $3.99. And actually the one that was marked as $3.99 was in better condition than the one marked as $5.99 for some reason. But it contains like a very nice looking cartridge. No instruction manual, but I had the box. So I kind of just wanted to get it just for that. I also picked up Mario versus Donkey Kong. Come on, you can focus. You can do it. Maybe not. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to sit here and wait for you to focus. $5.99. So I haven't really played this one before, and it seemed really interesting, so I picked that up. Okay, now we're getting to the like the cream of the crop here. Not eBay. Goodwill stuff. I was at Goodwill, and I got a couple Goodwill stories, actually. One by where I live, I picked up Flat Out for $2.99, and has everything in there. Manual and disc, if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Soul Calibur 2 for the Xbox, which I was kind of surprised I did not have. And it also has the instruction manual and the disc. This version of Soul Calibur 2 has Spawn, whereas the GameCube version had Link, and the PlayStation 2 version had Heihachi Mishima from the Tekken series. Okay, moving on. Oh, still more Goodwill stuff. Okay, now this next stuff from Goodwill. I had gone to Goodwill during my lunch break at work, and I had seen a bunch of PS Vita accessories that were really cheap behind the glass case. Now, the problem with the glass case is you've got to get somebody to come and open up the glass case for you. The problem was that person was previously indisposed of because this other lady was in the jewelry case looking at every single piece of jewelry they had in there. Oh, this is fake. Oh, you guys want too much for this. Blah, 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 blah. And I was standing there like, and while I'm standing there, other people were standing by the glass case too. And I'm like, you know what, this is insane. I stood there for like, I don't even think 5 minutes. I was like, this is going nowhere. I'm not going to be able to like actually eat lunch if I stay here any longer. And I was like, I just may come back later. And I left. And I was like, I didn't buy anything. A couple days later was the weekend, and I was actually back in Naperville, which is where this Goodwill was. I was like, and we were going to see, actually this is when we were going to go see Men in Black with my friends, and we got there a little bit early, and I was like, that Goodwill is like really close to where the theater is. So I was like, let's stop in there and see if they still have that stuff. And they had some of it, and they had like actually a little bit different stuff. So actually what I picked up there was a USB cable for the PS Vita, and that was $5, which is actually a decent price considering the original cost of this is $15, which is kind of insane. Actually, I picked up 2 of them. So 2 of them for $5. Can never have too many of these. And also they had a AC adapter for the Vita, which was about $4.99. So if you actually wanted to plug this into the wall, these 2 together is what you'd need. So, you know, it's kind of weird just that you'd be able to plug your Vita into the wall, have an extra cable to do that. This would also cost about $15, I think. Would cost you $30. Insane prices. No, that's why nobody's buying this stuff. But for $10 to do that, that's a little bit more reasonable. The other thing that they had there that was gone was a Vita case. And actually, I already picked up one of those at Target. I don't even know if I showed it off, but it was this case. I might not have shown this at all. And, yeah, it's just a case. I got this for $10. They were selling it for $3. Original cost was $20. So, there you go. Also, oddly, when we were on our way out, I was like, come on, we got to go because we're going to be late for the movie now. And we actually weren't late. But something caught my eye. I was like, holy crap! And I just grabbed it. What I grabbed was this Microvision game. If you're not Microvision with first handheld game system with interchangeable cartridges. Everything in here looks brand new. $2. Oops, upside down. Wait, that's because the price tag is upside down. So $2 for bowling. Did not have bowling. But you know what? That wasn't the only one they had. Sea-Duel. Again, $2 for this Microvision game and everything in there. You can see that. Everything in there, like brand new. Now, we did kind of look. They did not have the Microvision. Baseball. $1.99. Some of these I had, some of these I did not have. I did not have baseball. So far, I didn't have any of these. Again, everything in there. Also, Connect 4. I think I had Connect 4, but we were just picking up them all. Picking them all up for $2 each. Again, here you go. I still need to find myself a working Microvision, though. That might be a challenge. Vegas slots. I know I had this one. $2 again. Oh, this one even has instructions on how to insert and remove it. But actually, this one does not have the manual. Unless this is the manual. No. No, this one does not have the manual. But still, got the little cardboard pieces, or styrofoam pieces to keep it in place there. And, again, another one I have, Mindbuster. Oh, this one's got the, well, yeah, it's just got the manual in front there. But there we go, Mindbuster. But, I mean, that was that trip to Goodwill. But, what else? My wife, one day, on her day off, took a trip to a couple other Goodwills. She found this. It is the Super Video Arcade, which, if you didn't know, is the Sears branded version of the Intellivision. So I tested this out. It works just fine. It looks pretty spiffy. Yeah. I kind of like the way it looks. You know, it's got the, not the wood grain look, but like kind of like this brownish marble effect that the Telegames systems have. So yeah, I plugged in some Intellivision games, played a little bit. Everything seems to be working just fine on this. It came with the system and the box for it, and it was $5. $5 for this. There's nothing inside the box, not even a styrofoam piece or anything. But if that weren't enough, at another Goodwill, she found... Let's see if I can do this. How well can I do this? There's so many big things floating around here. Let's just, yeah, there we go. Ugh. Man. The Xbox 360 wireless steering wheel. So, you know, it comes with the clamp piece. We got the actual steering wheel itself. And the foot pedals and the cord that connects the two. Now, the only thing that this... And it has the instruction manual in here, too. It doesn't have, like, the styrofoam pieces that would keep this inside the box. It didn't come with the AC adapter, which doesn't matter because you can still plug the Xbox 360 controller battery pack into it and still use it. And I played a little bit of Forza 3 with it. Makes it a completely different game. Way more realistic. I can't just... I made a mistake of just slamming on the gas. My car spins out. I was like, oh, crap. Okay, it's like almost like you have to relearn how to play the game just to use the steering wheel. But the effects are awesome. And it reminds me of the days of when I used to use my Logitech steering wheel on my PC for games like Need for Speed 3 and whatever else I used to play on that. But yeah, I mean, some very awesome finds at Goodwill. So, I also got some stuff off of eBay. So what I get off of eBay, I had actually, this is kind of funny, I was watching a couple of Neo Geo games, and I didn't know if I wanted to bid on them or not. And one of the games went way higher than I wanted to pay for it, so I let that go. But then shortly after that, there was another one ending. And it was pretty low priced. It was like going for around $20. So I bid up to about $50. And, you know, at the end of it, people were trying to snipe my bids. But since I had bid so much higher, than they were sniping. I wound up getting this for about $38 plus about $7 shipping. And that's Football Frenzy for the Neo Geo. Now, I never actually played this game. I just always see it, and I always see it for like, I don't know, $70 or $80 on eBay, and I don't even know why. I really don't know what the actual cost of this game is, but I figured that I got a deal because I got it for cheaper than what I always usually see it for. I mean, even at Video Games Etc., whenever I saw a game like this, they would want like $50 at least for something like this. Only thing is that this does not... I mean, the game looks like in great condition. So does the case. It just does not have the manual. I've never played this game before. I just figured it'd be an interesting addition to my Neo Geo library. Now, another game that I bought, and I was actually watching this for a while, but instead of buying it, I actually bought Mail Order Monsters on the Commodore 64. And I paid $50 for it. So I was like, I'm not going to buy this other game then. But then I got an email about a week later from when I purchased that the game Mail Order Monsters for the Commodore 64 that, oh, we made a mistake. We don't actually have the game. We've refunded your money. I was like, okay, whatever. And so I was like, okay, well, I got that money back. I'm going to buy this game. And what I wound up buying was Cross Swords for the Neo Geo. I was kind of looking for this, and it has everything. It has the case and the manual. And I wound up paying about $70 for this, including shipping. Shipping was free, I believe. And I couldn't decide whether or not I wanted to get this game for the in cartridge form for the AES, or if I wanted to go with the Neo Geo CD version. CD version going for about $30. And ultimately, I was like, you know what? I want this for the AES because my Neo Geo AES is modded, and I could play any version of this game. I can play the home version, I can play the English version, Japanese version, whatever version I wanted to. The arcade version, the home version, whatever. And whereas if I bought it for the CD, I'd be stuck with whatever language I bought, which most likely would be Japanese. I'd be stuck in Japanese, and I'd be stuck with the home version. So the reason I was looking for Cross Swords is because I have Cross Swords 2 on the Neo Geo CD. The reason I bought that is because it's one of the very few games that was only released for the Neo Geo CD, and I wanted to play the original before I went with the sequel. So that's why I picked that up. But oddly enough, almost after I bought that, my wife was looking at the auctions I had been looking for Mail Order Monsters, and wind up buying it for me anyway. She bought another copy that was on eBay for $50. Now, the only reason I was thinking about not buying this is because it came with the Memory sleeve instead of the original Electronic Arts one. But other than that, it does have the manual and everything. Now, I went to go test this out this morning. I actually got this in the mail yesterday. Went to go test this out, popped in the Commodore 64, typed in load star, comma 8, comma 1, and it did not work. Something was wrong. I was like, am I typing in the right command scheme for this? I looked up in the manual. Turns out this is the Atari version of the game. And I went back and looked at the auction, and it clearly says it's for the Commodore 64 version, but when I was looking at, I looked a little bit closer at a picture of that, and they had a picture of this in the picture. Excuse me. It says Atari in the corner. I actually noticed that in the picture, but everywhere in the description says Commodore 64. So I don't know if I want to return this or what. I'm going to have to talk to my wife. She's at work today. See what she wants. If she so I might keep this. Who knows? I might wind up with a disk drive for my Atari stuff. I don't know. But I can't play this. And I still need to find the Commodore 64 version. Very, very bizarre. I was like, what the hell? Anyway, that's all my pickups, and I went on long. I knew it was going to be long. So I'll try to make everything else pretty quick. E3. Let's skip the E3. Now, I watched some E3 here and there. I mainly was paying attention to the Microsoft. Well, I missed half the Microsoft conference, but from what I understand, I didn't miss much. I watched all of the Sony one, and I watched bits and pieces of the Nintendo one. And I even watched I didn't watch any of the pre-E3 Nintendo stuff, but I even watched some of the, well, actually almost all of the 3DS conference they had on that Wednesday. Here's what I came away from it. I was only looking for a few pieces of information, and I was waiting to be wowed by certain things. You know, I don't know what I was expecting to be wowed by. I just wanted to see something to impress me. And here's what I was looking for. I thought for sure, I didn't want to miss the Nintendo one, because I thought for sure they would have a launch date for the Wii U, and I thought for sure they would tell us what the pricing was. We didn't get either of those things. So either they're just keeping it a secret and it will still be released later this year, or it's not going to be released this year at all. Either way, whatever what the things they showed for the Wii U, I was looking to be impressed by the Wii U, and I just wasn't. I just didn't. I'm not in the mindset where be like, oh, I'm excited for the Wii U when it comes out. I want to pre-order a Wii U. No. Not that point. Now, that's not to say I won't run out and buy one on launch date, because that's what I wound up doing with the Wii. But at this point, still not impressed with the Wii U. Didn't really see anything on the Wii U that made me say, I must have this day one. So that's a problem. I was kind of hoping to see some new 3DS hardware. At least some new 3DS colors. I'm holding off on the 3DS till I see something to impress me. And I was kind of hoping I'd see a revised version of the 3DS. And, you know, I know they may not do one with a second circle pad, but I was kind of hoping to see one. So I didn't see that. Saw some 3DS games, like the new Paper Mario game and the new Mario Brothers 2, whatever, on the 3DS. And that's all well and good, but still I'm not going to run out and buy one. Maybe if they had one with a bundle with one of those games, I might want to get one. But still, as of right now, I might just be waiting another year to see if they announce a revision for the 3DS before I buy one. But the one game of the show that really sticks in my mind, and I can't get it out of my mind, and I probably going to buy this game the day it comes out, is the South Park Stick of Truth game. That game looked hilarious and funny and entertaining. I love South Park. South Park games haven't been that great up to this point, but this one sort of, I think it plays kind of like a Paper Mario game. And in the South Park universe and style of humor, I think it'll fit in just fine. And you know what? I'm going to be right back, because I've been meaning to show off something. I keep forgetting to show it off. So I'm going to be back. Alright, I'm back, and I've been meaning to show this off for some time, and I just keep forgetting. But my wife had actually was working on a project actually for the past couple of years, on and off. And a couple of weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, it's been that long, she completed it. It's been framed, and this is what it is. It's a picture from Super Mario 3. It's a cross-stitch pattern. If we get up in there, you might be able to see it's all cross-stitched. So yeah, it's pretty big. It took her a long time to do it. She had it framed at Michael's at like the discounted cost because she had a coupon or whatever. We need to find a place to hang this. Might hang it up down here. But yeah, I've been meaning to show this off for quite some time. And really awesome looking from a distance. And it looks really awesome on my tiny camera right here. But yeah, really cool looking. I'm going to put this down. Should have gotten something to drink while I was up there. Okay. Lastly, I mentioned in the intro to this that my NES, my top loader NES, went on a mystical journey. I had actually gotten back. It was gone for about a week, and received some power-ups. So here's the NES-101. I actually picked this up. Not picked it up. I actually traded. I think it was with Sinister Moon, and I got this from him. And if you remember, like some time ago, maybe 2 years ago, I used to use this for Crow Plays videos. But then I switched to using the regular Toaster NES for games. And it wasn't because of the RF. It was because I was getting tired of those faint jail bar lines that this thing produces. and I was kind of looking into doing the AV mod. But then I, through Facebook and, actually looking up online, I found there are actually, a whole bunch of mods you could have done to this. And I contacted this guy through this website, and he actually does these mods, and I sent it to him. So I sent it off to him, and first of all, I hadn't tested this thing since I moved. So when he got it, there were problems with it. And basically garbled video, whatever. And I was like, man, it was working last time. I used it for a whole bunch of videos. And I was thinking, oh, maybe it got damaged while I was moving. And I didn't think about it, but I should have tested this. I wanted to maybe even capture some videos for some comparison videos after I got it back, too. But I didn't think about that. I sent it out. And he fixed it for me, too. How should I put this? I paid him some extra so he can fix it as well as do the mods. I'm not gonna say how much I got all these mods for because I'll explain that later. But basically, I had 4 mods done to this, and if you've follow me on Twitter, you already know what they are, or some of them. But here's the back. Obviously, AV, and it wasn't. It was nice to have the AV put on here with the composite video. One thing I never understood is when they released the NES-2 in the US, why it only had RF output. They saved money, but honestly, when the Famicom came out in Japan, it had only RF. But when they came out with the top loader, it was the NES AV version, which had composite. So when they brought out the second NES, the NES-2 in the US, they removed it. I don't understand that. It really didn't make any sense. But yeah, he added the composite video as well as a left and right channel audio, which brings me to the second mod, True Stereo. There's actually 2 outputs for audio on the NES chip, and what the left and right channel RCA jacks do is actually exploit that and put one output on one channel and the other output on the other channel. And actually what this knob here does is it can adjust between stereo and mono and mix in between. And you could experiment that with a couple of games. Another mod is there's a light in the power switch, so when you turn it on, that lights up, because otherwise there's no other light on this thing. And finally, this thing has been overclocked. And actually this old channel 3, channel 4 switch now switches between overclocking the NES and restoring it back to the normal clock speed. Overclocking the NES does not speed up the gameplay at all. But what it does is it helps alleviate slowdown. It gets rid of slowdown. But the side effect of that is it makes the audio higher pitched. Now, I'm not going to go into much more detail on that because I think I'm going to make a separate video on all these mods in another video. So yeah, how much did I pay for all this and have it done? I'm not going to say, because the person who did this is my shout out for this episode, and that is akaviolence. Now, he's got an awesome channel. I say that about everybody I shout out because I wouldn't shout you out if you didn't have an awesome channel. Hell, everybody's got an awesome channel. As long as you have videos on it, you're an awesome channel. And you don't bother me. What the hell am I talking? Anyway, it's awesome. Just trust me on that. Because in his videos, he shows how he does all these mods. He's also got a website called Game Tech or whatever, and that's how I originally found out about these mods. So I'm going to link to that website as well. But yeah, he's got a bunch of videos on how he does these mods, and a couple other mod videos as well. If you go to his website, you could see how much I paid for each of these mods. And he actually, paid him a little bit extra to be able to fix my board too. And actually didn't fix it. He replaced it and fixed that one. It's not worth getting into. The fact that the end result is that I've got an awesome NES-2, and I will make a separate video on this later. I hope. So check out akaviolence. You can see how he does these mops. It's amazing the way he does this. Way beyond the stuff I can do. So yeah, he's an awesome guy. Fixed my NES2 and upgraded it. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Ew, look at all the poo. Ew.